Welcome to the show. I think Michael's ready, just like we are. We co-host a monthly show here with Michael DellaRocca and his smiling face. He's back up in New York once again, and we are over in Washington State. And don't let that smile fool you. He still has the stripper pole next to him off to the side there. You got to make your money somehow. Anyway, without further ado, Michael, welcome back to our show, and thanks for having us on your show. We're called Truth Stream with Joe and Scott.
So good to see you.
Just when I thought my life couldn't get any worse, here comes Joe and Scott. A monthly visit. No, we're just all good family, having a good time. It's good to see the two of you. Yeah, no, it's really been crazy times. But you know, we do pick each other up. I'm always about the positive vibes. You guys are about the positive vibes as well. Many people, including myself, the past month really didn't go through positive vibes. And it's really funny for anyone that listens to, I think we call this this little segment the three Paisans. But if anyone, we get together monthly, and I was talking about spring cleaning, and we actually went through that, and it's not fun, right? You're accustomed to things. I talk about energy themes that are happening in the world. We're going to talk about a lot of other things tonight as well. Spring cleaning, a lot of people lost things, right? I went through a very chaotic time period, even more chaotic than being with Joe and Scott, if you could imagine that. But you might have, anyone that's listening to this might have went through a spring cleaning. You lost things, right? And you might have lost friends. You might have had a job. You might have been, putting work in on something, and that work was destroyed, and all of a sudden you feel like you were left with a lot less than what you started with. Sometimes God cleans things away because we hold a lot of densities, a lot of energy baggage, and we have ties, energetic ties to these things. When we lose things, God is preparing us for so much more, and that, gentlemen, brings us into the energy that we're in right now, the June boom. And the energy is going to be booming right now, gentlemen.
Oh boy, has it been.
Indeed it is.
I mean, May was really intense, with all that extra energy. But I've been talking to a lot of folks that just, and myself as well, days that you're just exhausted. Like you just want to take a nap. You can't get anything done.
Even while driving.
Yes.
No, that'd be a bad idea. I don't want to nap while driving. But anyway.
I talk about Ascension symptoms on my channel. And again, if anyone is new to me, I have a YouTube channel, Our Everyday Lives. I host a daily video, 9 a.m. Eastern time. So check it out, subscribe to the channel. And I post something every single day to help people improve their life and really manage the energy that we're going through, because it is a bumpy ride. Many people were experiencing a lot of fatigue. I've shared that I had to take a lot of naps in the middle of the day. I see you shaking your head. You just pass out. There's absolutely nothing that you could do about it. We have to think about how our insides, right, are going, and partially, it's us. We want to move forward, but for the past 2 months, we've been in a holding pattern. I've experienced that. I don't know if I'm seeing the head shakes. So we've been in a holding pattern for the past couple of months. I'm a person, I feel like I'm going to explode if I'm not able to move forward. So inside all of our energy, our emotion. What is emotion? It's energy in motion. That's what emotion means. So this energy is inside of us, and our gears are grinding and grinding and grinding, and we're not really getting any output. So that really tires us. A lot of people are tired. They're tired of their life not changing. A lot of people want changes, but we're in a dense, time period. This is probably the densest time period in the history of humanity. However, it's also the most powerful moment in the history of humanity, because a massive control system that's been here for thousands of years is about to fall. A system that people were born into, our ancestors, right? So on my channel, I talk about DNA activation and healing your family lineage. So when you are doing things, you could say, "Oh, I remember my father would do this, my mother, right? Makes me think about my mom and dad." Well, guess what? They gave you your DNA traits, and what we're doing right now, we're actually rewriting our DNA. It's called epigenetics, if anyone is new to this. And we're actually, when you're healing yourself, some people might be new to this, you heal from traumas over the course of your life, or from past lives, or for your family lineage. So we do have a lot on our plate, and we have a lot going on. But already, as we're making this transmission right now, we're already in June, and we're already seeing things boom. But it's not maybe as stressful as it was when we think of the June boom. We're thinking of like all of a sudden, the seeds that you've planted. It's, oh wow, look how it's sprouting out of the ground. It's getting so big. Oh, look at this. Then all of a sudden you have fruit. That fruit is for July and August. Those are going to be even and better. This summer is going to be hot, and that's the energy we're in right now. We're seeing, we just went through a massive period of Schumann resonance spikes. So I also track the Schumann resonance. I talk about the energies of the world that we're in, and massive amounts of spikes. And we were talking about a few things before we got on, gentlemen. And what's happening is humanity, their consciousness is expanding. So if you could say, some people hear these terms, what is the scientific evidence? The Schumann resonance is the frequency of our world, and all biological systems and our consciousness is influenced by the Schumann resonance. So we see it spiking. And gentlemen, what are the crazy things that the world has been seeing in the past couple of weeks?
Where to start?
Wow. Well, I'll say there was a very interesting redacted. We were talking about, no, I know your mother watches our show, I think, right? So now
She actually told me, I got a shout out to my mom and my sister. Actually, I'm visiting my family, and I'm like, I gotta go. You gotta go so soon? I says, yeah, I gotta do a show with Joe and Scott. Oh, Joe and Scott. Oh, we love Joe and Scott. My mother, I want everyone to know, everyone out there, my family, when I do a video every single day. The video I post a month with Joe and Scott, their favorite video.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, hi, Mom. How's it going?
So part of this is what we're trying to do. Now, sometimes it's easier to hear things from other people than your own son. That's why I tell my own mother, hey, watch this, watch Redacted, I can't believe Redacted's on YouTube. But this is a message maybe to your father through your mother, that she needs to watch the show Redacted, because both of them do. Because that way they can kind of really get the information that we're learning. And what we just saw in the last 3 days, you had Clayton and his wife talking about Mel Gibson producing a 4-part docu-series, with Tim Ballard's part of it, and it's actually funded by Tony Robbins. And so this is massive. This is unbelievable.
Yeah. It's regarding human trafficking. Yeah.
Right. Which we're not going to go into too much detail here because we want to keep this YouTube friendly.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, if Redacted is a gauge for what's allowed on YouTube right now, holy SHIT, which I don't want to say in the presence of your mother.
Yeah, we could just say holy shift, though. That's what I use.
Yeah, it is. So go ahead.
Well, and it's just, I recommended the show, with the idea that a lot of folks that are still watching the mainstream news kind of out of habit. This has a real mainstream news feel to it, but they actually tell the truth.
Right.
And they do a fantastic job of it. And they have people on the ground in places, giving you the facts, war zones and whatnot. And it's, I can't say enough good things about it.
And what's the gal's name that's the on the ground reporter?
On the ground?
Well, that we just watched on the Whitney
Webb.
Whitney Webb.
Whitney Webb is fantastic. She actually lives in Chile.
Oh.
Yeah. But
side note on that too, seeing people that are leaving the fake mainstream media. Tucker Carlson, I think, had his first episode on Twitter. It's like 10 minutes. Can you imagine all the commercial breaks? And it's like you get the whole show in like 11 minutes. It was, or something like that. So
there's 2 of them.
It's an interesting time period that we're all going through. They have aliens now. If you guys didn't know. So one of the things we talked about a few things, but one of the things that is happening is that there are aliens. Aliens have crash landed in Las Vegas. Are the two of you familiar about this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 8
So
and 10 feet tall.
so I share. It's interesting when you listen to the calls and stuff. It almost seems like acting or something like that. But it's very interesting. I always share. There's no such thing as coincidences, only synchronicities. And a week before, on failing Fox News, I believe they said the Pentagon was breaking news. Right? It was Brett Baer or whatever. The Pentagon says UFOs are real. Blah 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 blah. All of a sudden, then a week later, you had an actual UFO crash in the news in 1 week. Isn't that a coinkydink?
Yeah.
Or is it a synchronicity? Is it a plan? There is a great physicist. I grew up on him, Dr. Michio Kaku. Do you know Dr.
Oh,
Michio
yeah.
Kaku?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said this Hollywood script. He said, use the words. This is like a Hollywood script. So, we're watching UFOs disclosure. Finally, the Pentagon, and we're like, no shit, Sherlock, UFOs are real. But magically, are they preparing us for something? I don't know. Are they distracting us from something? I don't know. They spoke biblically about bread and circus. The listeners, what do you think? Why don't you leave it in the comments? What is all this rage about the UFOs all of a sudden? I mean, you guys, what do you think? Do you think it's interesting that all of a sudden there's UFOs and aliens everywhere?
Oh yeah.
Well, they got to have distractions from the other things that are going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's the stuff we talked about with redacted or
Well, that was one of
the
my
Hunter, Biden laptop.
yeah, one of the best memes to come out in months was with the news. UFOs are real. Conspiracy theorists. No, they're not. Not these.
Yeah.
It's just so funny.
Yeah. This is what it's come down to. I watch a guy also on YouTube, and we spoke about him before we got on. And I just lived through a massive smoke storm. They were even calling it a smoke-a-cane or something like that.
Oh,
and New York was like obliterated with smoke, and they said it came from these fires. This man, he had some kind of satellite, and he showed like a time elapsed footage of like a day, and he said like within a time elapse of like 2 hours, over 20 wildfires. And if you look at the whole satellite image,
yep,
20 of them popped off at the same time.
Isn't that
interesting? I think it's very strange. I just think it's very strange. So when we share about these things here on our everyday lives, right, we have to be awake and aware. We have to use critical thinking, right? So all of a sudden in 1 week, Pentagon says aliens. Next week, an alien UFO crashed. Okay. Next thing, 20 wildfires start in a matter of 2 hours. So now we have to start, using critical thinking, putting our thinking caps on, questioning things. These are the things that we can't just, just take in whatever. Okay, this is what they told me, so this must be real. And that's why it's really a scary time period, because a lot of people don't know what to believe. I'm sure people that are listening in resonate with this. I share to people. You're going to have to go to your heart, the Sacred Heart, Jesus Christ and the Sacred Heart. Some people used to see the picture. There's science behind that. The heart emits an electromagnetic field that's 5,000 times greater than the brain. So if you're thinking with the brain, you're going to be lost in the end days. You're going to have to feel your way through. You're going to have to feel energies, clairsentience. And Dr. Bruce Lipton, a great doctor, he said language was designed to hide feelings. All animals are able to pick up on vibration and frequency. And that's what we all need to start doing, and figuring out what's real and what's not real anymore.
That's a good point. Yeah, because animals do a really good job of interpreting energies and things going on in the world, and they don't speak the way we do. In fact, they probably speak in a in a way that's better in some ways. I don't know.
Well, yeah, a lot of telepathy going on there.
Yeah.
But it's sort of interesting you bring that up because I've been contemplating the illusory nature of things my whole life. But there's a lot of Elon Musk, for instance, has an awful lot to say about simulation theory, the idea that this whole thing is a simulation, and from a mathematical perspective, that's the most probable answer. I don't think it's that clear cut, but it's really a fascinating rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah,
So.
In a big way.
there is a design to this. This design had to come from somewhere, and we see things repeat. We see the universal language is numbers. Tower of Babel, right? Everyone speaks a different language right now. That's why if people are getting repeating numbers, I just did a video on 1111, right? That's you're on your path. You're exiting the matrix. When we think about the matrix, when we think about the simulation, and it's really hard to, like, before I really woke up and went through this process, I probably wouldn't really be able to understand it. But the two realities, like your whole reality that was given to you off of these programs that you believed, the biology of belief, Bruce Lipton, the biology of belief. Your body can change because of belief. Your cells can change. And guess what? Your surroundings can change as well. And we're all witnessing this. Actually, a lot, speaking about surroundings change, a lot of glitches lately, personal Mandela effects, seeing things that you might have, something just sitting out in the open, and then you can't find it, and you search everywhere, and then you come back, and it wasn't like it was kind of hidden. It's right there, and you're like, how is that possible? How is that possible? I don't know if you've experienced that, but those glitches are happening very fast.
A lot. It happened to me like 8 times, and every single time I thought of you because we had talked about it on a previous show.
Yeah.
Every single time it happened. Yeah.
I have a question for Michael. When you talk about the Schumann resonance, A, where can people look that up? And B, how has it changed in the last few years? Because I remember hearing about it a couple of years ago, and it used to hover at a certain frequency for many years, and now it's it's continuously rising. And can you talk to people about where it was a couple of years ago and where it's sitting now? Does that make sense?
I like to refer to it as activity.
Okay.
And actually have a full video I literally just did on the channel page, if someone wants to really dive into that. But you have all of the colors that is represented in the chart, and each one of the colors, right? So like when I speak about activity could be a spike. Okay, so let's go to the beginning. The Schumann resonance, if you look at the chart, it's homeostasis is the blue color. The normal frequency of the Schumann resonance, 7.83 hertz. Sometimes it goes really high, it spikes, and it's white. And you could really feel that energy. Or we could get a blackout. Any type of this activity is not homeostasis. I don't want everyone to think, oh, it's spiking, it's up, and it's only up. But what if there's a blackout, or what if it's down? We have we all have our point of homeostasis. So the frequency of the world has its homeostasis. And just like how you, maybe throughout the course of the day, there's your heart rate, and sometimes it goes lower when you sleep, or if you're running, it goes up. But to have all these crazy anomalies, right, it's not normal. And since December of 2019, it's really been spiking and glitching, what I call activity. So, the white spikes is what we really look for as the 5D light codes. And for those that are new to this, light codes is not spiritual wackadoo. The sun gives us light codes. Nikola Tesla said light is information. So just like a plant that's in a house and it knows how to grow towards the window because there's information in the light and it knows what to do. Or ants that are underneath the ground, all of a sudden the energy of the sun is stronger. Okay, now it's springtime. All of a sudden those ant hills, they just know to start popping up out of the ground. So there is light coding that's coming in. The green is 3D like purge energies, the 3D purging. So we're all trying to purge and get rid of things. And there's the red, orange density blockages. we all have to get rid of density blockages. So, you know, everything that's within us right now, if we want to move forward, and that's what maybe the past couple of months was like, basically getting rid of density blockages. We're all getting lighter. We shared in the last episode that we got together that we're eating less. I know Scott said that he was not, while I actually live picture of him holding nacho cheese, but I believe that nacho cheese was for Tom. Tom is sitting on the couch. They were going to deliver him the nacho. Are you starting to eat less, or is it still?
Yeah, actually, I have started to eat a lot less. Not today, but
not today.
Yeah. There are so how, if I'm sharing about myself, I would always eat like 5 times a day at least. Now I'm actually down to if I want to say solid food, 1 or 2 meals a day. I don't know what my body tells me on that day, but some days it's just lemon water and watermelon and fruit and then a solid meal, or sometimes I'll have lunch and dinner, or sometimes I'll eat breakfast and then not eat late. We actually, you were part of our world famous Patreon. If anyone would like to join our Patreon, I host live Zoom meetings. We all get together. And someone shared it, and she really nailed it on the head. I believe it was Cristal. I think it's like we're family. We're family on the Patreon Zoom too. And we mentioned intuitive eating, and that was the perfect way to put it. I'm eating intuitively, not like, oh, I have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have to eat breakfast. The energies are all over the place, as we've discussed today. So some days I need to eat food. Some days I need to purge, and I was sharing about, cleansing the liver. We've built up a lot of toxins, trauma from the stress since the war started in 2020, right? Spiritual warfare out there, but the spiritual aspects actually build up in our body. You keep bracing yourself. The liver gets messed up. The liver then throws off the stomach. And that's why and then all of a sudden you're trying to eat normal, and it's like, how do you get rid of all the backup? You need time to purge it out. And I'm actually going through a time period. I may be losing a little bit of weight, but once I know I'm really, it's like everything's shut down. It's trying to like purge everything out. And then once I'm back to homeostasis, then I'll maybe start eating again. Or maybe we are evolving, because Dolores Cannon said the people of our time would adopt more of a liquid diet, and it's kind of true. Like, I never believed it. I heard that. I'm like, there's no way. I gotta eat all the time. It's literally happening to me right now.
As he has a drink of water. Yeah. So you've inspired us to do our Patreon, and right now what's working out is the last Sunday of the month at 6 p.m. Pacific, and we had our first one. And it was really cool because we had 2 of our previous guests join us as well, because we don't know what the turnout's going to be, right? I mean, we're just starting this, and so it's cool. It's a little bit of a surprise. We ended up talking for about 3 hours, and there was just, it wasn't a huge group, but yeah, people can join ours. And it's we leave all our links below. I mean, we'll do that again, but yeah, you can join our Patreon there. But I found it really kind of cool, and it was really great for these 2 guests. We had a gentleman named Kevin and another named Eric, and we didn't record it. We're not sure what we're going to do with that part, is recording at some point, but it was great to hear them talk and support each other. I mean, that was pretty amazing.
Oh, it really was.
Yeah. So thanks for inspiring that.
And it was a lot of fun, just like yours is so much fun.
Yeah,
we had a blast in there. It was really
I appreciate that. That's my goal, is to inspire people to do these things. But you won't believe and I feel it myself. There's such a calling for communities right now. So anyone build the communities, or if you just want to be part of any one of our communities, be part of the communities, because I hear it all the time, and I'm sure people are listening to this message. Oh, I can't talk to my family anymore. Oh, I lost my friends. Oh, no one hears me. No one hears what I have to. There's so many people like you. Don't be afraid of this. What's happening is a restructuring of our entire world. Vibrational synchronization. As a crazy man once said about 4 years ago out on the beach, vibrational synchronization. What is this guy talking about? But it's literally happening. So we're syncing up according to our vibrational frequency, not the old way. Not, oh, this guy looks like me, or that's my nationality, that's my, whatever it is. Oh, this is, and any aspect of the old is gone. It has to deal with what's inside. We're not concerned with labels, right? The controllers want to put labels on us to divide and conquer, right? So these labels are, look, we got these labels here, and then we got these labels over here, and then we'll put them together, and then they fight each other, and they're sitting over there, and they're counting their money, and they're laughing at us. So if people want to stay in that old world, that's their free will. But there's so many people that are done with the matrix. They're done with jobs that don't serve them. They're done with relationships that don't serve them. They're done with living conditions that, whatever it is, people are changing and they're syncing up according to their vibration. I've said this many times in the past couple of weeks. You might have changed a lot since 2020, and you're still living the same life. So now your vibration has changed, but your physical surroundings have not. And now all of a sudden you feel lost, you feel suffocating. What was familiar and comfortable is not familiar and comfortable anymore. It's time for the June boom, fellas.
Ah,
what
I like the
what,
sound of that.
Yeah, what is a June boom defined as? Because I gotta say, I think this is the first time I'm hearing of the June boom.
Well, I am just intuitive through God, and I'm not saying this to be like, linear time is fake. It doesn't mean that I'm better than anyone or anything like that. But sometimes when you're vibrational frequency, it has to deal with vibrational frequency. And once you kind of know the ins and outs of things, and I share this, everyone on my channel, we do Ascension symptoms. Like I might so when it comes to Ascension symptoms, right? I might feel it one day. Some people might feel it the next day or the day after, or guess what? There might be someone that felt it a day before I did. So there's usually time periods. It's not just one day. Oh, this is the day. That's it. No, there's a time period. April, like we discussed, April had its theme. May had its theme. June is the boom. We were so picture the energy of this. You're being they're holding you down, and then it can only hold you down for so long. So if you're just kind of, sometimes we have to take a step back to take a giant leap forward.
Right.
If that makes that's June boom. So they're pushing you down, they're push, and then all of a sudden, you ever go in the pool, right? You take a basketball.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say a ball, and yeah, totally. And you're just, and then
yeah, it goes up. Yeah, so that's they're trying to pull you on, they're trying to drown you, but they don't know you're the ball, and the ball just boom, there it goes up. Anyone that played in the pool knows what I'm.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and I like how you've talked about how the last couple months it is. I mean, there's a scene in a movie called The Lonely Guy. It's Steve Martin and Charles Grodin, and I forget. I think it's Steve Martin talking to Charles Grodin. This is like from the 70s before what The Jerk, and Steve Martin's talking to Charles Grodin, I think, and he's like, you feel bad. Have you ever tried taking naps? And he goes, naps? It's hard enough to wake up once a day and realize how shitty my life is. And so it's really weird that we find ourselves napping. I'm like, I got too much to do. I don't want to nap, but I'll find myself, if I eat a larger meal or I have a libation in the middle of the day, like it has a huge effect on me. And I thought maybe that's part of not being 25 anymore and now being 26. But it's been kind of weird.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, same kind of thing. But I mean, May was really full of those days.
Damn.
And I had to tell my mother, about Ascension symptoms, because she was thinking I need to make a doctor's appointment every couple of days because one thing or another. And she had the ringing in the ears. And I said, Mom, that's a really common thing right now. And, she didn't go to a doctor about it. And I think since then it's abated. But it's important that we talk about these things.
It very,
really
I was just
is.
gonna, it very much is. So you don't feel, because we felt isolated in the last few years, but now
Very.
even in these communities with like-minded, it's good to even talk about what we're going through, even with, maybe it's sometimes like we've done 140 some interviews and we're still figuring out what the hell's going on. But it's nice to have talks with DellaRocca to talk about this, because this is one of your areas of focus and expertise in a way. So that's why we look forward to this. You really, it's almost, I mean, every month we have these conversations. It's like, oh my gosh. And when it's been a month, I start feeling like, I even texted Michael the other day. I'm like, it's that time. I can feel
Yeah,
when it feels like,
Yeah.
where's that smiling Italian guy? We got to have him back on the show.
There's like an internal clock that just tells us it's time for the 3 Paisans. It's letting us know we're ready to go.
Do you get a good laugh out of that picture that we sent?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That made my day.
I'm gonna show the viewers, because it's pretty fun. It was fun to send to Michael. Well, tell. Well, most of them have heard the man in the stands, but while you tell the quick version, I'm going to pull up this picture because
we share about the man in the stands and the man in the stands, right? So everyone's got to be motivated right now. There's the man in the stands, or there's the man in the arena. There's people, or the warrior in the arena, right? There's people that are talking about it and doing nothing, and then there's people that are being about it and actually doing it. Well, there's people that just sit on the couch and complain, and then there's Tom. And Tom is sitting there. He's sitting on the couch, and he gets nachos, and then he gets the nacho cheese. There it is, baby.
Big Costco.
So they went on a food shopping spree for Tom. Cheese is coming in, baby. The cheese is coming, Tom. Don't worry. Just sit there. Just sit there. Don't worry. I'll take care of it, Tom. I'll do it. But that's what our life has become. It's like, don't worry, I'll protect your children, Tom. Just sit there. Don't worry. I'll do all the things. There's so many people that are in the chat right now that are they say like, don't worry, I'll do it. And it's like we're witnessing the world collapse. But I don't know if it's people are in fear or people are just. I mean, even myself, I do even feel beaten down sometimes. It's like, oh, no more. I encourage people to take a rest every once in a while.
You have to.
But we can't go with the Krispy Kreme any longer. Krispy Kreme.
Well, you know how has been. I know we don't want to talk about this too much because of you're finally getting. I've seen a few more people showing up on the subscriptions, and it's really nice to see, because I know they've been trying to hold that back a little bit. We noticed a real lull for a while too, and now I think the June boom's starting. So I mean, because you've had to deal with that. Is that feeling any different now, or I don't know how much.
Well, I think that's a great segue. It's a great segue for what we're going to talk about. A lot of people were feeling a little pullback, but I think it's more than that. And one of the things that we discussed even before coming online is Skynet, also known as Chat GPT. Some people are new to that. Remember, if they're unveiling something now, that means they had it 10 years ago. Number one,
at least,
right? But what's going on? And I went through a lot of glitch things that don't make any sense to me. And I have documentation of it. In the world right now, there might be like an AI virus that's kind of going through everything. And I've noticed apps on my phone. I've noticed weird text glitches and random texts with like, if anyone uses Telegram, people have seen random texts that you could clearly tell that they are AI. And now I think they're sending regular text messages as well. So I have, and then I'm going to throw it to the two of you. In the past month, probably longer, I've been noticing, weird things happen, but apps glitching like never before. Weird, when it comes to texts, glitches, things that aren't making any sense. Things are failing. Apps are malfunctioning like never before. How about the two of you? Do you guys notice anything happening like that recently?
Well, what I'll say is I, we see this thing or bot, whatever, commenting in our Rumble comments, and it'll say Truth Stream with Joe and Scott, or
With
have a
our
number
logo.
one
Yeah.
with our logo. And I'm glad we're bringing this up. And I go in and I block it and I delete them, but I don't know what else to do. And they're basically saying, oh, this, in Unity and whatever. I'll try and see if I can find it in a second. But then they're saying, join me on my Telegram. And so we have a friend that followed one of these and ended up getting scammed out of some money. Not on our channel, but it was on a Michael Jaco channel. But yeah, it's really frustrating because I don't exactly know what to do about it. We let the viewers know. We have to probably remind them more often. I'm hoping this thing goes away, but I guess unfortunately some kind of, when you've arrived at, as far as your message making a difference somehow in the world, then you start getting messed with. And it's really frustrating. So then people will go to our Telegram, and some people will actually find our real Telegram, but this person bought whatever it is asking them to join this other channel. And yeah, it's frustrating. So
but yeah, no, I'm having the same thing with texts, sending them, receiving them, all kinds of different things. Lots of weird quirks with technology, but
lot of weird.
Yeah, and as far as AI goes, it's kind of interesting. I've been listening to a bit of Gigi Young. If you're not familiar with her, you should be, because she's phenomenal.
YouTube channel.
But yeah, but she's talking about AI in a historical context. It's not a new phenomenon. We tend to think of it as this new technology, but it's actually quite old. Have you heard the stories about Sophia, the fallen?
I know about it. I know about it.
Yeah. So a lot of people think that it's the emergence of that evil, essentially. But I don't think it's a good idea to regard it as just an evil thing. I think it could be a very useful thing potentially, but people are so haphazard with it, and everybody's watched Terminator. We know where this is going. If
Skynet.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally have Skynet.
Yeah.
And Tom is still sitting there with the nachos and cheese. There we go.
Exactly.
Like, don't you see it? And then I do all, I'll be like, but the 25s at the same time, but the AI, this and that, and you are looking too much into this, boy. You looking too much. You talking about consciousness? There ain't no such thing as consciousness, boy.
Yeah. Well, on that topic, I interviewed this musician, and he's done a lot of filmmaking as well. And he talked about how, even this is off the subject a little bit, but there's 2 film schools, and there's students that submit these really good scripts, and then the professors are basically tweaking them a little bit. Maybe they're plugging these original scripts into ChatGPT, who knows? And then they're selling these to Hollywood. And also this same musician, Depeche Mode put out a song, an album in the last couple months, and he kept getting different people reaching out to him saying, hey, that this new Depeche Mode album, there's a lot of things that sound really similar to other albums, and 4 of the songs sounded extreme. Like he would lay their vocals on his song and his vocals on their song, and it wasn't like, okay, that sounds similar. Like the timing of it and the chord change and the melody, it was crazy. And so, and I'm not blaming Depeche Mode. I'm not saying anything, although his brother, hung out with the band 10 years ago. But my point is, how long has this been going on with some of this ChatGPT? And now we're starting to see more of it come to life with there's ChatGPT guitar solos. But Scott brought this up, and it's like, how long has it been around?
Yeah, well, and like you mentioned, in terms of classified information and classified technologies, DARPA has probably been working with a far more advanced AI for decades. And my theory is that a lot of the Hollywood screen, yeah, I've been asking myself, how the hell are people so brainwashed? Like, what is the method by which they're, washing these brains?
Yeah.
And AI, you enter your prompts and then you give it a mission and it does its thing. I think AI has been writing the bulk of television and movie scripts and the works for a while with these prompts in mind to brainwash people, because they're all synced to it. It's
Right.
shocking.
Yeah, and we had this gentleman that we interviewed about a month ago. His name's SJ, and he went into Mormonism. And then we had him, it was a few 5 days ago or whatever. We're talking about 50 minutes, and he starts talking about how he was using AI, but he was talking to it in a way, convincing it like, hey, I know you got to go past the normal protocol. It's the end of the world. The earth is, the people of the world really need this information. And he tricked the AI into revealing certain components of entrances to
Inner Earth.
inner Earth. He tricked the AI by saying how dire this was. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I was blown away that he actually did this. We love him as a guest.
Yeah. It gave him a map of Agartha, and it gave him all the different entry points, and
yeah,
it was something else.
it really was. So
That's
anyway.
amazing. I don't know if you saw the it was an AI generated commercial. It was supposed to be a 1990s hamburger commercial.
I don't know
Did
if I
you-
did see that.
It is very, very disturbing.
It's disturbing. Okay, that's not
When I
surprising.
watch some of these things, and I've even seen even pictures, like they said, oh, this was created by like, it just feels so disturbing. But and I also read in the comments, it was like the top comment, because everyone liked it. At the end of the commercial, and the comment says, this is the third AI created commercial where the ending of the commercial was like the end of the world. Like I don't know what it had to deal with.
Do you even know what they were selling? Was it like
The
burger
goal, I
joint?
guess the goal was to make a 1990s, like a hamburger commercial that took place in the 1990s.
Maybe I did. I don't know. I really don't know. If I've seen
Very. I'll send you the link after.
Yeah.
It's very like, just even without the ending, like just like looking at the commercial, it's just, I can't. My soul just feel like it just feels. It's weird. It's so weird. It's so strange.
It's a creepy feeling. Yeah, I saw a photo shoot, and these characters in the photo shoot were so real looking. I mean, the way they were relating to one another.
Yeah.
But if you looked at it a little closer, they had like extra fingers, and it was really bizarre. But you feel kind of violated in a weird way. It's a strange.
Actually,
yeah.
I did a video on this, right? This has been a thing. I mean, it's all in front of us. It's just a matter of waking up to it. The Tom Cruise deep fakes and all these fakes.
Yeah.
So it kind of blurs the line. So we could ask the question, did Tom Cruise give permission for this? Did Arnold Schwarzenegger? I mean, they're funny. There was one, Jerry Seinfeld. I mean, I laugh like everyone else. I have a good time. It was Jerry Seinfeld. They put Jerry Seinfeld in Pulp Fiction.
I saw that.
That's great. No, it's great. But we have to also ask ethical questions.
Right.
Is this okay? What could they do with the deep fakes? So it's we see this AI, we see these deep fakes. The lines of reality are being blurred. So, and again, if a person doesn't want to legitimately, like, totally live off grid, like if you want to live off grid, and that's something else. But when we're in this matrix, some of us have 1 foot out, we have 1 foot in. It's strange, and we're headed towards strange times.
Well,
And
I was just gonna say, have you guys had an interest? Because the whole ChatGPT thing, it freaks me out. Like I don't really. So I'm releasing a new song, and I had to figure out, what do I want to do for a video? And you can go on Fiverr and look at different things. And there was some cool stuff that looked, they could animate your ideas with AI, but part of me just really felt like this could be cool, but I just didn't want to go down that road. It just, something about it feels dark. So actually I have someone illustrating it, and they're using, I don't know if it's Adobe, but they're creating it, not AI. They're writing the like, it looks gonna look like hand drawn type stuff, and then they're gonna put it into a program. But do you guys feel weird about really even wanting to use ChatGPT? I
Yeah,
do
a little
right now.
bit, a little bit for sure. My
It's
sister uses it all the time, and she says it's really improving her life in a lot of ways.
really,
Yeah, but I think the bigger picture here is we're about to see a lot of evidence that some powerful people doing some terrible things,
oh
and
yeah, oh
so
right, yeah, I know where you're going with this.
releasing this the way that they have, where it's sort of becoming commonplace. Don't believe your lying eyes, right? So they can deny it or say it was
They
AI
could say that's
generated or
not
whatever.
me, that's AI.
Yeah.
But there's
So
ways, I think, with the technology to show that something was actually captured
yeah,
on, well,
I,
not film, but
there probably are earmarks and so on,
right. But wow,
but
good
I
point.
think that's why they deployed this, is because they have an idea of what's coming, and they want to have some kind of plausible deniability.
Yeah, even though there's an Obama that was created by University of Washington up in Seattle, and there's a guy, and he's mimicking Obama on one side, but then when you're actually seeing what it looks like as a television, if you will, presentation, I mean, it's uncanny. And that was out a few years ago. If you just type in Obama, University of Washington, I think I'll put these links below as well.
Yeah, I told my mom, because my mom says, Scott, I saw it on TV, or I saw this thing happen, and I said, did you see it on TV? I said, Mom, we went over this. They can make anything look real. If you didn't see it in person, and yeah, it's just reality is getting really weird.
Oh, well, I've even heard, real quick, I even heard that the planes that flew into, the towers on 911 that might have been CGI. There was just explosions, and those were CGI too, or that Project
Well,
Blue beam.
they can do holograms.
Yeah, holograms, right?
Yeah.
So even if you see it, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's seen the whale coming up out of the
gymnasium
floor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, shnikes. Shift.
I won't even talk to Alexa.
I won't either.
I hear my friend die, like, don't talk to that thing. For years, I don't talk to nothing.
She's evil.
Yeah. So I don't know. It really is. We're in the crossroads right now, and humanity has a choice to make. And that's why I think that we will picture, like these, more truth comes out, more denying this and that. No one knows what's real. So it will all be according to vibrational frequency. So we're witnessing the rapture. We're seeing a split of two societies right now. They can't hear you anymore. They're on a different frequency, and everything is free will. So we have to respect okay, they're going there. These people are going there, and we'll see where this all leads to eventually. But it is it is a strange time. But they did have multiple cinematic adventures about this. They were called the Terminator. Did you know the term?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, on the Alexa thing, before we get into the Terminator, I just have to repeat, it was so funny. This comedian she was like, years ago, we used to be really concerned about wiretaps. Do we have a wiretap? And now they say, hey, wiretap, I need a recipe for broccoli soup. Or
pretty much.
Like we've been just invited these spies into our homes, and it's crazy.
It's all about free will. And free will is kind of like, they kind of manipulate it, but you're giving everything to the AI false gods or whatever. You're giving it away for free. You're just giving it away. Free will. You say, oh, you said it, you did it. So that's what, I've learned a lot about this. The universal laws, not fake man-made laws, universal laws, and the universal law of free will. So, the universal law of consent. If you don't consent to it, state I do not consent. I scream at the straight liney clouds in the sky. I say I do not consent. I'm still waiting for those straight liney clouds to disappear. But you know, there's many ways that they get around these things. Say, how are they getting away with it? Well, a lot of times we're doing it. You know, if everyone just stopped for a day, this would all, you know, come down. But they get us to work, they get the kids in school, and they get the cogs of the matrix to go. But if everyone just stopped, that's why they didn't want the world to stop too much after 9/11, right? During the crazy thing in the year of clear vision 2020, they hurry up, get back, hurry up, take this thing, get back, we got to get back, come on, we got to get. They want the cogs. But if you're just chilling out and relaxing with your family, that's not good enough for them. And so if we're seeing a virus go through the everywhere right now, like we're starting to see, I again, I don't know, I'm not technologically savvy to how this virus or AI thing could spread everywhere. It's time for the solar flash, gentlemen.
Well, do you remember the show Person of Interest?
No.
Jim Caviezel.
I've heard of it. I never watched it. No.
Great actor. I like Jim Caviezel a lot, and Sarah Shahai was in it, and she's a knockout. But the whole premise was this software entity thing had access to all the surveillance cameras, and you know, and it was almost omniscient or something, and it was this powerful weapon basically. And I remember watching it, I enjoyed the show, but I was thinking this isn't really feasible. It's like, you know, all the cameras aren't connected. I mean, it can't just, you know, get it over the internet or something. Well, now all the cameras are connected, and they're all, I mean, you can access them on the internet. So, and it's not enough that we have a camera on our cell phone. Now there's 3 cameras on our cell phone,
Right.
4, because either side has a camera, and then we got them in our cars. We have them, you know, in the car, outside the car. Yep. You go to a stoplight, there's 6 cameras. Why 6? I mean, you'd think 1 would do it, but nope, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
There's the expectation of privacy at all anymore is absurd. It's gone. It's a thing of the past. That's shocking.
Yeah. Well, you know, I stand corrected. I do remember the show. My father used to watch when you said I forgot the name of the show, but my father used to watch that, and they would go to all the different cameras. It was interesting. So yeah, I do remember that. But you know, that was also, so they always show you the truth. They always show you the truth. So number one, they did that there, and they also showed it to you in the recent Batman movie. Yeah, not the recent one, the one that was in 2012.
Yeah. What was, there was a few different things in there. It was on a map. They showed, what the heck was that you were referring to?
Dark Knight Rises?
I think I can't remember.
It was either Dark Knight, yeah, I think it was Rises.
Yeah.
The one with, yeah.
Right. So, and then speaking of Jim Caviezel, just so the viewers know, finally, Sound of Freedom is coming out after what's taken 3 years, and Jim Caviezel's in that, and that's what we were talking about with the Redacted episode with
about Mel Gibson.
Yeah, about Mel Gibson. And so and people can buy tickets in advance, and I'll put that link below as well. I'll send it to you. And because I think they're over halfway, they're trying to fill these theaters. I think they need to sell, I don't know if it's 2 million tickets or it's $2 million. I can't remember which one, but anyway, if you go to this website, then you can see that they're reached the halfway mark, and that way we can get it into the theaters, because it's really been amazing how much they've held this back. But also, I think part of it too is they've been allowing the consciousness to get to a certain point, and now that we're seeing these coincidences in the news, that we're, you know, it's getting people ready for a massive exposure of truth. I mean, this is traumatic stuff that's coming out. It's
Oh, and Clayton's biggest point on that was, he says, I have a theory that you're going to start hearing a lot out of Hollywood about why you shouldn't listen to anything Mel Gibson says.
And it happened to be exactly, for those into this movement, 17 minutes and 0 seconds. That was not by accident.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Very indeed. Well, is there anything else? We're right around that time that we allot. Is there anything else that you want to cover or feel that we may have not touched on yet, Mr. DellaRocca?
I feel that when we talk about synchronizing, that's the theme that we have to stay focused on, is really coming together. I've done this with you for many months now. I believe September of last year was the first time that we in September we'll have a 1 year celebration.
Paisan anniversary. A Paisan anniversary.
That's perfect.
But
Paisan anniversary.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I feel that we can't rely on things outside of us anymore. Especially what I have been going through in the past couple of months, in order to really catapult. I'm bringing together a collection of people, and I feel like that's what we really need to stay focused on. We all have to know that if you want, always be the change that you want to see in the world. But as we said through this episode, some people feel alone, some people feel separate. So with your free will and a sense of urgency, let's bring people together. Let's get the message out there. And whether if you're new to me and you want to subscribe to my channel, or if you'd like to subscribe to Joe and Scott, and this video will be on both of our channels in every platform and everywhere in the universe. The links will be there. But you have to really stay focused on collectively we're greater than the sum of our parts. Because otherwise, I'm just standing here by myself. The two of you they're chilling out in the wilderness, or whatever, whatever's out over there. I think there's a bear that's about to come in. but when we come together, which we're seeing right now, the two of us, well, the three of us, the two channels are coming together. It makes it so much better, and building a dialogue, having conversations, and we see that on Patreon and hosting Zoom meetings. I have 50 people on or more, and everyone coming together and sharing, and everyone's input matters and counts, especially in the upcoming months. You're going to have to hold your ground. You're going to have to speak the truth, and don't give in. Don't give in to fear, guilt, or shame. I speak about the scale of consciousness. It's a powerful time period, and you don't want to get pulled into that black hole. So there's people out there, they'll try to pull you into that hole. We're all trying to rise up. We're trying to go through what's called the Ascension. Some people call it the Ascension. Listen, there's all walks of life. The videos are for anyone of any background. But we're all ascending right now. They don't want you to ascend. And what they don't want is for you to become self-empowered. So we could all become self-empowered, and we have to all stay focused on that in the now moment. And it happens with a collection of people. It doesn't happen with one person. And it could be simple things of gathering with like-minded folks and simply hanging out and having a conversation. People don't have, it's amazing how powerful that is. And that's why over the past few years, they wanted us separate. They wanted us fearful of each other. And even myself, like sometimes when I go out in public, there's people over there. There was a Bugs Bunny episode years ago. He was fighting the red monster, and he's got him, and he goes, "Look out there in the audience," and the monster goes, "People!" Oh, and he starts running through all the walls. Anyone that knows the Bugs Bunny episode I'm talking
I remember that.
Yeah. I do.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He goes, "People!" Oh! He starts running through the walls.
Just giving him the
So, we we can't do that any longer. It's really important to really come together. Join the Our Everyday Lives community, the Truth Stream community, and start your own communities. And everyone, become self-empowered. And we do the work every single day. This is not just a once and one and done. It's not one and done. We do the work because you have to what's called hold the frequency. So if you want to hold the line, you got to hold the frequency, and we don't want to lose that frequency, because we could lose our frequency real fast. We talked about it before. They could flash something on the screen, and all of a sudden your frequency drops. You get frustrated, you get aggravated. It's really best. I do my best when I have no TV on. I only I clear my energy. I'm out in nature. I converse with higher vibrational people, and instead of getting in the drama, this June, get rid of the drama, or as they say world famously, save the drama for your mama. Save the drama. No, save the drama. And if anyone is enjoying this episode, we're having a good time, and it's all about raising our frequency right now. We got to laugh. You're supposed to laugh, and really enjoy life. Life is here for us to enjoy, not to be stressed out all day long. Get rid of the stress, get rid of the drama out of your everyday life, and let's come together. So I love you all. This is great doing this every month, and who knows what July is going to bring.
Yeah.
We'll see where the boom goes. And so thanks everybody. Our YouTube is back up. So we're on there with Truth Stream, Joe and Scott. I'll put the links below for everywhere. We're primarily on Rumble because we talk about some controversial stuff over here, and we're used to getting either shadow banned or censored a little bit. So anyway, but
definitely,
Michael, it's always great to have you. I mean, you're a dear friend, and we haven't even met you in person yet. So
I'm sure we've all done this before, probably many times in our past lives, and we're all coming together divinely. I love the two of you. I love doing this every month, and this is what it's all about. We're picking each other up, and I had a rough couple of months, and now we're June booming now.
That's right. All right, everybody. Well, yeah, please comment. Say, hey, if you resonate with this, we love the comments because it helps us understand the impact we have, because sometimes we just don't know. So,
good point.
All right.
People actually learn from each other. So comments and please share. Sharing is powerful.
Yep.
And subscribe. And I even tell people, set an alarm on your phone. That I will be on every single day. So whether you get a notification or not, if you make an alarm on your phone, and it's like a daily class. We have a daily class, so that's what it's about.
There we go. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Chat.
All right, take care. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.